As we are moving to the digital world in the continent, adopting new technology, moving our life into the cyberspace, it is important that we stop, pause, and think of security, because this is one thing that in a second can put a country on its knees. So as we are adopting, we should be considering the important aspect of security, because if we don't, the hope and hype that we have for the digital transformation of the continent can be a nightmare. So that's why we believe that we need an Africa approach to cybersecurity, because the problems that we have in the continent are specific sometimes to the continent.
CyLab-Africa is a partnership between CyLab and our Pittsburgh campus and CMU-Africa and our Kigali campus that aims to engage in research and education related to security, privacy, and fairness of the digital transformation. So we're trying to do this by engaging with multiple stakeholders, including other academics, NGOs, governments, industry partners, to really understand what are the key problems that need to be resolved in these areas, and what are the research and development priorities that we can address as an academic institution.
So as we are moving to the digital world, we have identified a number of problems. One is what we call vendor lock-in. Countries are signing contracts that they cannot get out of because of the lawyers, but also because of the technology, because once you roll out some technology, it's very difficult to roll back. Access is being questioned because technology is very expensive. So the moving actually is, the fear is that it increases the digital divide. So we need to give access. And we need to be open and transparent when we develop technology. This has put people into a place where they are pushing for open technology solutions. And this has led to the notion of digital public goods, which are digital solutions that are open source, open AI, open standards. And this is the motivation behind the Upanzi network. So the Upanzi Digital Public Good Network is an effort that was supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, started from CMU between our Pittsburgh campus and our Kigali campus, but it has an Africa focus and an Africa vision. So we are aiming to collaborate with stakeholders around the continent, academics, NGOs, government, the users themselves. So we are creating here a unit cell of the lab, but the hope is that in a couple of years we'll replicate the lab in other parts of the continent. That's the Upanzi network of digital public goods. We are very positive. We started with a conference in March of 25 people and a number of organizations. In Sierra Leone we were 100. Here we were around 150. So that means that there is a buy-in and people are showing interest. This notion of DPG is being adopted in the continent, and people are keen to understand what it means, to support development, to support deployment. So we had a mix of participants, people from the academia, people from NGOs, government, institutions that deploy and build DPGs, and just interested users. So we believe that there is a buy-in, and that's what we would like to keep traction of.
Well, I think for one, we're really excited about building out the capabilities of the lab and collaborations with other stakeholders. So for example, we'd like to build up test beds of large-scale DPGs that students can experiment on and even propose new ideas from scratch. So as part of that, we're really trying to reach out to other academic institutions and the people who implement DPGs to get both ideas for projects and the kinds of research questions that need to be answered, and also to engage with other students and academics who are interested in working in this space and becoming part of the Upanzi network. So at the moment, our plan is to send out an invitation to the attendees of this conference and get information about what kinds of projects people have available if they're on the creation end, and what kinds of students they have available if they're on the academic and educational end. Eventually, we're hoping to open this up at a larger scale to get more participants, but since we're just getting this off the ground, we're starting small.
The message is for the decision makers in the continent. I have seen many things that have scared me a little bit. We have seen many countries where we have two strategic plans. One is a digital transformation, and another one is cybersecurity. I think that they should go together. So the invitation I have for our decision makers is that technology goes with security. While we are thinking of adopting, we should be thinking of protecting at the same time.
I would like to add to that a message to funding agencies, actually. I think that one of the most important things we can do to encourage strong cybersecurity is to build up capacity, to educate our students to become cybersecurity professionals. And I believe that that is not going to be possible without a substantial and concerted effort to fund these kinds of efforts, like the ones that are going on at CMU and at many other universities around the world.